All right, hey guys. I've had a lot of people talk to me and contact me about making a statement about this story here. And sorry, I don't know how to get rid of that. Anyway, about this Banditos motorcycle man named DT, who, according to Motorcycle Profiling Project, says that a Texas jury in El Paso says it's illegal for any bandito to possess a weapon. Now, I will say Texas law is very specific, although I wouldn't call it constitutional, because I don't know where in the Constitution it says you have a right to keep and bear arms unless you belong to certain groups. I think the idea is you have a right to keep and bear arms as long as you don't use them to commit crimes. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's what Texas law says. So this video is strictly going to go off of Texas law. And I'm going to give some brief opinions about this because I am researching this a little bit more in depth. I have filed for some court records. I've also left a message with DT's attorney to ask him to get back to me about getting some more information as well, because one of the things you're going to see in this story is it does talk about the fact that DT was convicted of unlawful carry of a weapon. So before we get really into this story, let me actually show you the case, because one of the problems that I'm finding and why I haven't spoken out about this yet is because I don't know that that's what the jury decided. Because remember, a jury only decides whether someone's guilty or not of unlawful carrying of a firearm, and that could be because perhaps he went into a prohibited place, although that is a different charge. Maybe he was carrying without a license, but there are many different aspects to how someone can get charged with unlawful carry of a firearm. And so I don't know, and the story doesn't say anywhere that he was charged strictly because he had a gun and then because he was a member of the Banditos Motorcycle Club. This just says it was decided Friday. Now, this happened, by the way, the case happened in October of last year. So it's about a year-old case, and I guess it took this long. Yeah, October 16th. So you can see that there. On his way to work for unlawful carry of a weapon, although it was conceded by all sides that DT had no felony record and was not a convicted criminal, the prosecution argued and the jury agreed that merely being a member of the Banditos was enough to consider an individual gang member prohibited from exercising their Second Amendment rights. So what we don't know is why he was arrested. I mean, if he's on his way to work, why was he stopped to begin with? Did they see him carrying a gun? Did they stop him for something else and then find out he had a firearm? And there's so many other, was he in his vehicle? Was he walking? I mean, there's not a lot of detail here, and I don't have access to the transcripts. And I don't know, this story doesn't exactly say where they're getting their information from. DT's case is just one in several long lines. It represents only one case in a lower court. So I guess it's going to depend on if he files an appeal or not, and if that's what they're appealable. Hopefully they raise an objection during the trial at some point, or in pre-trial, that they challenged the constitutionality of the law that says a person belonging to a, quote, gang has no rights. And then the constitutionality of considering a motorcycle club a gang. I mean, there's some other issues there. But if you look at the actual case, which I have here in the El Paso case search, so this is the one. The charge was unlawful carry of a weapon. He pled not guilty. The disposition is he was convicted of unlawful carrying of a weapon. And all he got was a $307 fine, and then 2 days in jail in a detention facility. So He did have to forfeit his weapon. Oh, but look, he got his vest returned. Wow. So good for him. He got his vest back. So the state has stolen his private property and threw him a bone so at least he can ride in style now, even if he rides as a defenseless citizen. So anyway, I see that there's a bunch of arraignments, there's a bunch of waivers, there's a whole lot of continuances. So and I see motions and verdicts, application for community supervision, there's an order to forfeit or destroy his weapon, and then, but I don't see here, I just don't see anywhere here except for motions for continuance. Unless they came up during the trial, I don't see anywhere where they filed a motion to challenge the jurisdiction or to challenge even the law itself. I'm sure that would come up. Generally, you would try to do that in the pretrial, but I don't see anything here on pretrial. So, this is the case, but again, it doesn't tell you anything. Unlike Bell County, where you can kind of click on things, and this is me trying to click on things. I can't click on anything, so I can't see any of the motions. I can't see what was filed. What I like about Bell County is that you can actually see the motions that are filed and read them, and you can also read the judge's orders, and so you can get an idea of exactly what was argued in court, which is very important in this case. So for those of you wondering why I have not commented on this, it's because I just don't have enough information to wade into, but I want everyone to know that I am looking into it because it is of interest to me, because I don't think that just because you associate with certain individuals, and by the way, I also don't like the fact that they posted, this is a public record right here. Right? This is a public record, but yet they did a lot of editing on this public record. Unnamed juror, DT, but yet you can go to the case, because right up here it says the case number. I mean, it's kind of a crappy copy, but you can see 20170C09263. You can see that. And so all you have to do then is take that case number, go to the courts, and you'll see that it's Derek Thomas Kelly versus the state of Texas. Actually, it's the state of Texas versus, yeah, there we go. State of Texas versus Derek Kelly. DT, in other words. So I don't know why. So it's also a little just suspicious to me that, and I'm not impugning or saying that this site is false or that they're telling the wrong story or whatever. Oh, here it is. So he was pulled over for a traffic infraction. And okay, so it doesn't look like he had a license, which doesn't matter because he was in a vehicle. So anyway, I want to find out exactly what was argued, what was in. I filed an open records request for the affidavit of probable cause as well as the warrant, and find out exactly what arguments there were. So I am looking into this, but I just need more information, and I want to be able to help, and Open Carry Texas would probably want to help this guy, because if this is truly the case, then what is to stop the government from declaring anybody members of a gang? What's to stop them from saying if you're a 3%er or an Oath Keeper or a member of Open Carry Texas or a member of the Tea Party? What's to stop a rogue government from declaring any of us gang members and then taking our rights away? So there you have it. There's the story. You can go to motorcycleprofilingproject.com for that story. If you want to look at, well, there's not really much to look at here, but you can go to casesearch.epcounty.com and then type in the case number, which is, see if I can, it's on that website. I don't know if it's on this page here somewhere, but now I did talk to Joseph Vasquez. That's the the attorney that I contacted to see if I can get some information from him now that the case is over, and see what we can do to help this guy. But contrary to what people think, I don't just jump into things half-cocked. I want to know all the facts before I get heavily involved in stuff. So, all right, guys. So take care, be safe, and be free.